It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
So apparently the theme song is modelled off the Chuck E. Cheese song. I don't actually know it because I'm from the UK. But if you know it, let us know if you think that's accurate. In this spoiler talk, we're talking about Willy's Wonderland. It doesn't have anything to do with Willy's, but it does have a lot to do with Nicolas Cage. And so if you don't want spoilers, this is your warning. But for now, we're going to talk all things magical. That is Willy's Wonderland. Almost couldn't say it. Willy's Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
If you're watching this, you've seen Willy's Wonderland and you've come here because you're like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
What was happening? Please help me make sense of this movie. And so we're going to talk about the lore.
The lore?
Loosely.
Loosely, yes. Because is there?
I think
They've got an idea. They've got a rough idea. They've sketched it out in the film.
So we know that all the animatronic demon-possessed things were not necessarily demon-possessed. They're serial killers or killers
possessed
that have possessed these animatronic
puppety
thingies. And they get to fulfill their nasty desires by killing people that come to that. And obviously now the townspeople have been feeding them. What they've been feeding them, I guess, bodies and souls.
I guess anyone who's unfortunate enough to drive past the town.
Yeah, but I mean, what is their sustenance? They don't actually eat the body.
Maybe violence.
So it must be
the act of killing.
Either the act of killing that sustains them, or actually their souls that somehow helps them stay possessed in these and keep it alive.
Yeah.
Because it's all supernatural stuff, so we can go down that line. Nicolas Cage character.
Loved him.
Who doesn't talk. He only grunts.
Love it.
Which was great. And we were saying in our review that they were probably able to pay him less because he has no dialogue or any grunting. So it's just presence on screen.
Yeah.
Probably has some body double maybe because there's some shots they didn't need him for.
Yeah.
Shooting the shots of the pinball machine, my favourite.
Yeah, I know you loved those.
I loved that. I thought it was great, especially when he was just like going for it. That was excellent. However, we come to the magicalness of his power. Okay, so when he fights, he sticks to a because he's told he needs to clean.
And take breaks.
And so he says his stopwatch. He just happens to come to this place. He happens to be somewhat capable. Yeah. And then every time he takes a break, he has one of those cans that'll say pop.
They're like Monster, aren't they? They're like an energy drink.
Yeah, but we don't know. They just say pop. We don't know what brand they are. Oh. They say pop, and they have like a little symbol at the front. They're not energy. We presume they're energy drinks.
Right.
But we don't actually know if they're like some super steroid or filled with some magical juju. The reason why I'm saying that is because he got handcuffed. Right?
Yes,
and no normal person can actually snap out of the handcuffs. If you've ever tried or been handcuffed, or you're a little kinky and bought real handcuffs and you try to snap out of it.
You can't.
You can't, okay? I once saw a show in South Africa where the super strong guys did, but even then I'm still thinking, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so unless you have muscles upon muscles or you have abs in your abs, it's very hard to break. And so Nicolas Cage, he drinks one of these things, he has his break, and he breaks out of this. And then he is able to take apart these monstrosities that are these demon-possessed puppets really easily compared to everybody else who isn't able to.
Yeah,
and they would
really
be
weird.
They're younger, looks like they're stronger because they, a young, not a teen, but like early 20s, I think those kids were. They were just taken out very quickly. The one very scary person who was jumping and flipping, he walks straight up to both female puppets in the hallway and smacks them, and they go knocked down. It seems like his punches carry a heavy amount of power.
He's got magical juju.
So then, are we to believe if we fast forward to the end of the film, the girl that he takes with him, is she now going to become powerful as well because he's drinking the drinks?
And he gives her one.
Yeah. Why is she going with him even?
Well, I get that. There's nothing for her in the town, although she doesn't know that.
She doesn't know him.
She doesn't know him. She also doesn't know that the woman who sort of raised her and looked after her is dead.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is a little bit strange. I mean, but it's not the strangest thing in the film.
No. But she does say...
by a long way.
She does say at some point during the film, is one of the cheesiest... we've seen it said in a few films where they're not in here with him... the other way around.
Yeah.
He's in there with them. No, they're not. He's not stuck in there with them. They're stuck in there with him.
I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
Yes. You see, we were wondering as well if maybe the lore around this whole thing is that when they're told that they have to clean and they have to take breaks, if they stick to those rules, does it give them some sort of power over these animatronics? But when you say it out loud, it doesn't really seem to make sense.
No.
What I just don't understand is why hasn't anyone killed these puppets or taken these puppets apart? Maybe the difference is that Nicolas Cage's character doesn't seem to be fazed by anything that happens. He shows no fear. He shows no
This is why
surprise.
I thought he might be a little bit Asperger's or a little bit OCD or a little bit...
on the spectrum.
Yeah, on the spectrum for sure. Because...
I mean, let's just clarify. That's not to say that all people on the spectrum behave in this way, but there are certain traits that he exhibits.
We do have a family member, so we do understand.
Yeah, so, you know, the fact that he sets his watch and that every time it beeps he has to have a drink, and he has a ritual surrounding that, so he washes his hands and then he has a drink and then he plays on the pinball machine.
I mean, he literally,
seems...
to the second, when that girl's about it, like, he doesn't show any emotion.
No.
And that girl's about to die, and he's like, here's a knife, and then goes off and... while all that's going on and people are dying, he's busy playing pinball and having a drink and having a dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do wonder about the serial killers, whether they're... just because they're broken up, does that actually break it? Because there's probably scope here for a number of sequels, considering how much is being talked about this film in particular, that I wouldn't be surprised if this spawns a number of sequels. You know, they are able to possess, their spirits float about and go and possess other dolls in another factory, or they're able to recombobulate, rather than discombobulate, recombobulate themselves.
Yeah.
Like that fairy who we thought was dead and then blew herself up. Will she be dead? Or is she just going to be like a burnt corpse, and then now she's the one that's free and is going to go recruit others?
I don't know. All of these things are possibilities. Would you want to see more of this?
Yes.
Possibly.
I wouldn't mind seeing Nicolas Cage on the road, kind of like an Evil Dead trilogy, where he goes and fights other puppeteers. I mean, why was he there? Why did he just happen to be in that town? It also felt like he was driving back the way he came when he arrived. So I do wonder what that was about.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
So now he's got a team member. They're building a team, and they're going to go and defeat other possessed. Is that his job? Is he
Maybe.
hired by the Vatican to destroy evil possessed puppets?
Of course.
I should write them a script for number 2.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so let me know if you can think of any other lore or any other bits. Can you figure out why Nicolas Cage broke the handcuffs? Or is he just that strong? Or is there some supernatural lore that once he started obeying the rules by sticking to the time zone, by cleaning, and then going back to work, is therefore he was circumnavigating their rules? Or was it that he was something special?
I don't know.
So many questions. I think it has something to do with the super pop.
Yeah, that's your theory. Okay.
Drink this pop and you become a superhero.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, guys, let us know what you thought. Give us your theories down below.
Yeah.
What would you like to see this franchise? I'm willing it into being. This franchise become. Thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, unless there's anything else you want to say.
No, it's
Until
fine.
next time, remember.
Live long and
long and
Tuesday.